Solo travel. Why would anybody want to solo travel? And what exactly does it mean to travel solo? We'll answer those questions in today's show. Is fear holding you back from traveling because you don't have anyone to go with? Are you concerned about being a woman traveling alone and not sure how to prepare for a solo trip? Do family and friends think you are crazy for even considering solo travel? Well, in this podcast, you will become equipped to travel safely by yourself. You'll learn things like tactical travel tips and how to prepare for a trip and how to overcome the fear so you can discover the transformation that travel can bring. My mission is to see more women over 50 discover how travel can empower them. If you want to enjoy your next travel adventures solo, then start your journey here. Hello, sister travelers. I'm Cheryl, solo travel advocate and travel coach. I have experienced life-changing adventures through travel, and I want the same for you. So stay tuned here every week, and you will learn to find freedom through your travels, build your confidence while safely navigating new places. Hello, my sister travelers. How exciting it is to be here. Welcome to the first episode of Solo Travel Adventures. Folks, I am so excited to bring this podcast to you and provide to you a community of women that are 50 and older who have a desire to travel solo. Or maybe you've already traveled solo and have some amazing stories that you can share with my audience. So folks, today we're going to talk about what exactly is solo travel, how to define it, and why. Why would anybody want to travel by themselves? Well, let's start with solo travel. Oh, you're like, well, I already know what that is. It's pretty simple, right? You travel by yourself. Yes, that is very true. That is the simplified definition. But you could still be traveling solo and be with other people. For example, you could book a cruise, for example, as a solo traveler. But think about you being on a cruise. You're surrounded by the same people, and you also likely during, for example, meals will share at the same table. So you will be around other people. You'll be meeting lots of people during that course of the cruise, the same people. So you might develop some friendships or just someone to share the experience with, even though you have arrived there on your own. Other examples of traveling solo, but not necessarily being alone, is possibly joining a group tours. There are some actual groups out there that bring solo travelers together, meaning you're still booking it on your own. They have planned the whole trip though, and you're all going to the same place. Maybe there are several people that are also solo. There are groups like that, but there are also tour groups in which you're going to be in a tour, whether that's for one day or several days, doing some traveling, going to those same places with other people. They might be couples. They also might be solo, or maybe even families. And that would be a way to travel solo. See if you've never done it before. And I'm hoping in this podcast that you will be equipped. I want to provide you with a tool belt to equip you to be able to do those solo trips with confidence and not be fearful and not be scared, but be prepared. So going out on your own, yeah, that can be a bit scary, but it is possible. And there's so much that you will learn about yourself when you step out and do that. So going on your own, planning that trip from start to finish, getting your flights, deciding where you're going to go, booking your hotels, all that. Yes, that can be very overwhelming, but it also can be very exciting. Now, maybe this is something you want to try and you're not sure you're quite ready for the big planning ordeal. You can, in some cases, have somebody else actually do the planning of your trip, and you would still do that on your own. You would still go by yourself. So there are ways to do that. I also offer travel coaching. If you're not certain about what type of trip you might want to take, whether you're ready, how to prepare, we can work together to do that as well. But solo travel has so many benefits. And if you look beyond the whole logistics, meaning the planning, the getting past being alone, which is a thing, it can be a struggle, because often some people will ask, well, why would you want to go by yourself? Don't you want to share the experience with somebody? Well, yes, and often I do. Every year I go on an international trip with my eldest son, and we share these wonderful experiences together. And it's a lot of fun to go back and reminisce every year about our trips and remembering some of those good and bad times, the funny parts, the not so fun parts as well. You're going to have those. And that's also just part of life. But why would someone want to go by themselves? Well, there's lots of reasons. I see many women, especially during maybe a transitional time, maybe they have recently become divorced, or they've lost a partner or a spouse, or someone close to them has died, and they are wanting to take this time for a trip to maybe heal, or maybe to spend some time in reflection. So they need that time alone, away from, other people, but still wanting to experience life and experience a new culture, a new experience there. So people often travel solo for those reasons. You might also just travel because you can't find somebody else to go with. I hear a lot of those stories where they've started a trip plan with a friend, and then the friend has suddenly backed out. And some people have decided to go anyways. Some others, like myself, have more freedom and more flexibility to travel, but they can't always find somebody to join them. So why not? Why not go by yourself, right? Life is just too short to wait around and not experience that item on your bucket list. So do it. If you have the time and the resources, why not? Figure out where you want to go and start your planning. You can get lots of ideas from different communities and even just do a lot of your own research. But also here in this podcast, I will provide different suggestions and different tips as well for safety, different tactical travel tips. We're going to run the whole gamut. We're going to have stories as well, my personal stories of different trips that I've taken, and bringing on other people that have had some remarkable solo travel experiences, folks. So ask yourself, what part of solo travel interests you? Is it new? Do you want to just dip your toes in the water and maybe book with a group tour possibly, but still be on your own? Or do you want to go full in and jump in with 2 feet and do this and really just challenge yourself to step out of that comfort zone, folks? Because that's where we're going to grow. And so begin thinking in your mind what type of solo travel you would want to do. And then start making a list of places that you have an interest in going. And then start to begin that research possibly into where you might want to go, seeing when is the best time to go, what places might be a good starting point for a solo traveler, a woman solo traveler, right? So we do have to consider safety in many cases. But the other thing you could also do just to dip your toes into the water of solo travel is I like to tell women, start small. And what does that look like? It could just be a day trip, somewhere where you drive by yourself and go somewhere that's in driving distance for you. Or maybe a weekend. Take somewhere where you can just drive somewhere for the weekend and go and see what it feels like while you're still close to home. And then as you get more courageous and bolder, you can step out into those longer and further, more international trips and see how you do. Well, folks, I hope this have encouraged you to consider solo travel. Because if it's something you've never considered or you've been so afraid to do, I will tell you it is a remarkable experience once you do it. And once you do it once, you're going to want to do it again and again. And so take some time, as I mentioned, see if you can dip your toes in that water of solo traveling. And come back for the next episode as I will provide you with some tips on what to do to prepare for a trip.